Yo, what the fuck is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Champaign Papis Podcast. As always, I'm Marco Guzman.
And I'm Joe Longo. This is the 5th episode, not the 6th. We took a week off last week to enjoy homecoming. We took the week off, and so did our football team.
Unfortunately, yeah. So our football team played against Wisconsin, a conference rival.
Before we even get into it, 2 years ago, we played number 6th ranked Wisconsin on our homecoming. Ghost gray uniforms, have to put that out there.
Ooh.
And we do the upset, obviously.
Field goal.
So Illinois, Wisconsin only being 1-3, came in with a lot of hype. Mm-hmm. When I tell you, I had to work Grange Grove before that game. I had never seen that many people in there. It felt like a fucking Project X rager.
When I was walking down Green Street, I saw a lot of people repping Wisconsin, and I was just like, I was like, there's too many Wisconsin people here, you know. I was like,
that's what I was saying. At the game, I was actually surprised. We almost had a sellout crowd.
They travel pretty well. Yeah.
We filled up the student section, filled up the stadium, and it was less red than I was expecting to see in the stadium.
Really?
Our fans, there's a lot of times where it can be pretty even red to orange, but this year it was heavily orange and just some red. But that didn't change the fact that the guys go out in the field. They had like 100 combined yards, 0 points. We lost 24-0.
Yeah. Yeah, that was brutal. So that's why I didn't even want to go to the game, because I felt like I knew that it wasn't going to be that competitive. Unfortunately, I wish I would have gone to the game. It looked exciting, but that result just.
I'm glad you said competitive because, in the office, that's kind of what we were saying. Is that like we felt that this game was going to, even if we didn't win and come out on top again, we felt like it was going to be that game where people put at least some respect on us.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, like I said, when you go out and put 100 yards on the board, including garbage time. It's kind of embarrassing, and this is something.
You get it done.
This is a little story I'm going to tell people for a while. When I was on the field, it was the fourth quarter. We had 5 total first downs in the game. We got a couple of them early, so we went a long time without getting first downs. I was on the field, fourth quarter. We're down by 24 at this point, and we picked up a first down, and the entire stadium erupted. It sounded like we just won the Super Bowl. Like. I hadn't heard them cheer like that off a first down at our own 20-yard line. Like there was a punt that hit the touchback. So we're at the 20-yard line. We're down 24-0. There's like 6 minutes left. We got a first down and they erupted like we just scored a game-winning touchdown in overtime. Yeah. And that's
crazy. It's crazy.
If you're in the crowd, that's fun because you just had to sit there and go through that. Yeah. But when you work for the team, it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing because more than anything, you would think, and I'm not saying that the players don't feel pride in
right. Not towards the team.
Nothing of that, but like I would at least like to hope that at least a field goal, like something like that. You could come out on your homecoming weekend and said you at least did something, you know. And I guess so. As a fan, more than anything, that's where I was just like,
yeah,
that's tough.
I never want to bring down because obviously I work with these people too. I never want
love
to
you about till they die.
And I tried to hype up Brett. The hiring of Brett Bielema before the season and all that. And I like him as a coach, and I think obviously we're going to know what type of coach he is when he has his own staff, when he has his own players, Like at this point, he's still using mainly Lovey guys, whatever. I give him respect for that. He made questionable decisions early on in the season about not going for it on fourth down or kicking field goals. Illinois has been through that.
He's definitely been.
I have the questionable decision of we were at their 30-yard line. At one point in the fourth quarter. We were down 24-0, but we were at their... It was like the last drive we had the ball. And he decided to try to strike for a touchdown. So he decided to go for it on 4th and like 10 and just keep his guys on the field and try to get a touchdown when we turn over. If I'm a player, I don't know if this is consensus, so if players are watching this and you want to disagree with me, go for it in the comments. I don't know if you agree with me. If I'm a player and we're in that position to get some points on the board, please, for God's sake, put the kicking team out there. Make it 24-3. I don't want to get shut out on homecoming. Yeah. Like I understand it's a garbage time field goal and you essentially got shut out. But like when someone says, "Hey, what was the Illinois score today? 24-3." You're like, when you hear 24-0.
Yeah, it's like, damn, we got shut out on homecoming. Our homecoming, like this is the day like where it's one of the most prideful days for the Fighting Illini.
This was the same
drive.
You
get alumni coming, you get like this is a big deal in Champaign.
This was the same drive when people got really loud off of a first down. So imagine what would happen if they put points on the board. Like, it gives the fans something, like, on the drive home, they're like, at least we got the field goal.
I think in this situation, I would agree with you. Like, as a player, like, I know, like, if you go for a touchdown, it doesn't erase the fact that, like, we lost, right, by a big deficit. But, like you said, at least knowing that I scored something. The touchdown would be nice. If we went on fourth down and we got the touchdown, fuck yeah. Right. But
it was low.
We could have at least secured a field goal.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
Because I was thinking, is that like on first down, second down, third down, absolutely make that strike towards the end zone, try to get that whatever. I like the idea to keep trying to pushing and not give up on a game, and I understand that's the principle behind not taking the field goal and going for the touchdown is the idea that you're not out of it until it's all zeros on the clock.
Yeah.
But I actually said this on the sideline, and my boss questioned me. She's like, "You would do that as a coach?" And I thought it wasn't that crazy. In situations like that, it's 4th and 10, late in the game.
4th and 10.
You don't want to give up on the game, but you also want to put points on the board to avoid embarrassment, like I'm saying.
Yeah.
Would it be crazy for a head coach to turn to his team and just be like, "What do you guys want to do here?"
I don't think that's crazy.
Because I truly think that going for it on 4th and 10 when you've had absolutely nothing going for you that day, I think it was entirely a coach's decision to go for it.
Yeah, it definitely was a coach's
decision. No one on that sideline was like, "Oh yeah, I want to go for it." They were like, "Can we please just get 3?"
Yeah.
So I was like, if I'm coach, I'm training the guys like, "What do you want to do here?" Maybe I have prideful players who go for it.
On some Harbaugh shit with the Ravens, with
Lamar, what do you want to do?
What do you want to do? He puts faith in his play, and I respect that. Like honestly, that's pretty fucking dope. Obviously, I don't think that's a philosophy that a lot of coaches adopt in general. Like I think that's very rare. And so I don't think it even crossed his mind. He's just like, this is a coach's decision. We're just going to fucking go for it.
Yeah.
Try to get a touchdown.
And she, like my boss, her defense was that at the end of the day, it's the record is on the coaches more than the players. Like you can go to the NFL off a bad team, but you'll get fired as a coach if you have a bad record.
Yeah.
And I was thinking at that point, the loss was already secured. So that's out of the question. Like there's no...
Put some points on the board.
There's nothing... Yeah, put some points on the board. The deficit becomes less at the end of the year. 3 points less might be the difference when you get fired or not.
Yeah. I mean,
but
at least on a brighter note, last week we won against Charlotte.
Yeah, so we didn't get to talk about it last week because we obviously didn't have an episode, but we, of course, missed the 1 week where Illinois football captured a W. It's actually funny. During that game, Illinois hit 300 rushing yards before they hit 100 passing yards. And I had asked my coworkers, I was like, when was the last time you saw that?
Yeah.
And it was funny because the photographer from Charlotte who was sitting in front of me, he's like, against us, every week. Because apparently they have these 2 really good. There's 1 safety and 1 corner that are really good on Charlotte. But their front 7 is boots, like just absolute.
I would boots and we talk.
Like he says every week, like they average 290 something rushing yards against them a week.
Okay.
Average rushing.
Average.
It's not Justin Herbert throwing 70-yard touchdowns to get up to 300. It's 7, 12, 7, 12 every time. Like he says they average like 6 yards a carry against them.
That's crazy.
Every time a running back gets the ball, it's 6, 7 yards.
That's crazy. You could win the game just strictly off of that.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. So obviously Charlotte, they are. I mean, they're actually better than a lot of people think they are. Like the name Charlotte doesn't scare you, but they're a solid team. Obviously in a lower rank than us, so we were supposed to win that game, and we ended up. I think we covered too. So
I mean, they currently have a better record than us.
Well, yeah, but they also play easier competition. So I think if Illinois played who Charlotte's playing and getting wins against, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, bright spot that we won, right? So that's another win on
bright spot that we won.
We're 2-4 currently.
Funny thing is that against us, Wisconsin had 300 rushing yards before they got to 100 passing yards because Mertz was terrible. I didn't know that. Mertz was terrible, so they got to 300 rushing yards, 400. So 2 weeks in a row.
That's kind of ironic.
2 weeks in a row at Memorial Stadium, a team got to 300 rushing yards before they got to 100 passing yards. And if you've seen that,
that's super rare. Like that is not
since
conventional.
1980. Yeah, it's super rare.
Yeah.
Because like football's a passing sport now.
Yes, especially like the way the game is played now, it's primarily a passing.
Like even the Tennessee Titans with Derrick Henry, like he's the only one getting like consistently 200 rushing yards. They don't usually hit 300.
Yeah.
Let alone before Ryan Tannehill gets 100. So it's crazy to see, but we saw it 2 weeks in a row. But homecoming game wasn't anything to talk about, but the homecoming weekend. We're going to include a little bit of that into this because we don't want to talk too much about it.
So, so the game was a little bit, like, you always want to see your team win. So, a little unfortunate that didn't happen. But, win or lose,
we booze.
We booze. So, that is exactly what we did. And I know we went to Lion.
We went to Lion Friday night because the game was at 2:30, so I didn't have to worry about getting up early. We went to different places on Saturday night.
But Friday Night Line was pretty fucking cool. Crazy line.
It was packed.
Fucking long-ass line. Holy shit.
It was packed, and it's
glad that we got there relatively at a good time.
Yeah, it did. I don't know if anybody was at Red Lion on Friday night before homecoming, but nobody was wearing deodorant. Like, it wasn't
Oh my god, and I know we stepped to the side, we even talked about that. We were like, dude, like, yo, like, this is fucking...
It doesn't help that it was a little bit warmer of a night than everyone was kind of expecting.
Yeah, and it's packed, so everybody's inside, and it's just like...
But it's like when you go out, when you leave your crib, when you wake up in the morning, do you not just throw on some deodorant? Like, I felt like that's part of... You do that before you put on a shirt.
Yeah, just look.
Right, yeah.
Just once.
Smell good.
In the morning. You go on your day.
Gotta smell good to feel good.
Exactly.
Isn't that what Deion Sanders?
Like, smell good, feel good, play good. Or in this case, you just go about your day good.
Look good,
yeah.
Gotta look good to feel good to play good. You play good, they pay good.
Exactly. Ooh, that's like that.
That's what he said.
I know, that's exactly what he said.
Beast.
I always say, but I always like situations.
But yeah, so it smelled terrible. our situation was a little hectic at times, which got me a little ticked because I didn't have really that much pre-gaming. I think was my problem, so I kind of came in like raw dogging it, and I only got 2 drinks in like an hour and a half. And if you're not drunk at these bars, it's really not that like.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to be a little tipsy to like truly enjoy it. Otherwise, it's just like
drink responsibly.
Shit. Always. We're both over the age of 21, obviously. We both drink responsibly.
Of course, always.
It's just what you got to do. Like, see, here's my thing. I'm one of the guys who at the bar.
Yep.
I get waters.
I do get water every once in a while, like
every
few
third
drinks.
round, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be like, hey, let me get a blue guy or a vodka crant and a water, because then it's like, boom, I got 2 drinks in my hand. Stay hydrated, stay in the game.
Gotta stay hydrated, man. You gotta be drinking water.
Here's my thing though, too. Not only do you stay in the game better, you feel better overall because your body has water, and less of a chance of a hangover. Like it's just
facts. No hangover.
So homecoming weekend was great. I went to Joe's for the first time. Last time we were on the podcast.
Joe at Joe's.
I had said I'd never been to Joe's, and I finally went. It wasn't lit that much on homecoming night, so we kind of left early. But
yeah,
how was Cam's? You were at the one that
I was Cam's. I was there for a really long time, and that's kind of what was like what made it.
Say the hour range for the people at home, Marco.
So I think we're gonna say that for the next segment as we cross over into the next topic that we're gonna talk about, because we are running short on time here, so we will be right back.
Okay, I did not know that.
Alrighty, so to get back into talking about how our homecoming weekend was, right? So I was talking about Cam's, and so Cam's was it was a good experience. I loved it. I had a great time. However, it felt very dragged out for one reason, right? I didn't go to the game, right? I didn't feel like I wanted to see that. I didn't expect the Lions to lose like that, but I felt like a loss was coming. I just didn't want to go to a game where I felt like we were going to lose.
Great
so
fan.
I went to Cam's, and I was there from 7 p.m. or 7:30, right around that area, until 2 in the morning. I was there for a total of 6.5, 7 hours.
That's tough.
I was there for a very long time, and it was pretty cool, right? Because it was like you get like at first like you get the influx of people that like it was kind of like deader, and then people started coming in as like the night got out, and then like you were just there through all phases of the night. And it was pretty cool. Like it was a great experience, right? There with the boys, having a great time. But it just at home. Once I got back, like more than anything else, like to my apartment. Good thing I live like not even like I live relatively close, right? So I just got home, took off my, I just got ready to go to bed and fell asleep, just right away. That didn't.
I like that.
Right away, because it was honestly I was just tired more than anything else.
I get you. So yeah, I had said I went to Joe's. Wasn't
Joe's.
And then Sunday. Recovery Sundays.
Recovery Sunday.
Football. So it was definitely a great homecoming weekend.
Yeah.
But the reason why we kind of...
Sunday was definitely needed.
Oh, Sundays are always needed. Especially when you go out back-to-back nights.
Oh, damn.
Actually, Saturday night, the part that I missed out that I forgot to say earlier was that I had gone to a pregame and I bought a bottle of tequila. Terramana. Shout out to Terramana.
You love Terramana.
I think that's my favorite tequila. Yeah. So I bought a bottle of it, and I went to this little pregame. And when I got there, everyone was already drunk, so I didn't even need to bring a whole bottle.
Yeah.
So I just started sipping on it myself, and I finished. That was the first time I like drank a lot of just straight. Like I had a bottle of Terramana,
out of the bottle, just straight.
Bottle of Terramana, and a big old glass thing of apple juice.
Wow.
Best chaser in the world, apple juice. You will not taste the liquor after. I promise you. If you drink, maybe it's just tequila because that's mainly what I drink. It's tequila like vodka. If you drink apple juice as your chaser, perfect.
Orange juice goes hard.
Orange juice. Shout out to High C. They didn't have any Capri Suns at Schnucks, so I went with the High C boxes.
Hey, you never go wrong with High C. I drank a lot more High C when I was younger, so it's been a while, but I fucking love it.
But either way, the point we were talking about before, we didn't want to talk about me drinking Terramana or High C. We just wanted to shout out some of the brands of drinks we like. But I wanted to tell you that a lot of the times you go to these bars and stuff, you see a lot of the athletes. We had been over this.
Yes.
And this brings us to what we wanted to talk about for our social, cultural aspect. So, the wonderful hoodie you see me wearing today.
Show the hoodie off, Joseph.
There's a nice number 5 along the hood.
Now, what does that number 5 represent?
Now, the number 5 represents the jersey number of the man whose birthday it is today, the day of filming.
Yep.
So it is currently October 13th, and it is Andre Curbelo.
Happy birthday, G.
It's his 20th birthday. Happy birthday, El Mago. Along with
Champaign
Campus.
Papis.
Yeah, he is a Champaign Papi. That's what I was going to get to in a second. So, Campus Inc. Throws him like this little event, and it's a bunch of merch that has his number, his face all over it. So I obviously, as a big supporter of the people that I work with, wanted to go and do that. And it's kind of my one chance, like, some people are like, why would you do all that if you, like, work with them and all that? But it's like, it's my one chance to finally act like a fan. Like, when I'm working, I don't act like a fan with these guys. So it's my one chance to kind of show appreciation for him without being weird. So I bought this hoodie because it's sick as fuck.
And it's got a signature
on it. Not like his actual signature, but imprinted on it. Yeah. We'll get to the signature in a second. Then I bought this shirt. This is actually what I mainly went there for. So
got the Champaign Papis shirt.
Let me get them.
You do gotta get all the way up there. Yeah, give him a...
Yes, sir. So no, he doesn't know about our podcast. That's his little nickname going, and it's something that we said in the first episode of the Champaign Papis podcast. So to see it on a shirt is pretty fucking awesome. The front of the shirt, I'm not going to show that one too much. Certified, it's him doing it in between the legs pass.
Certified Corbello Boy.
The Certified Corbello Boy album cover. So I went in there around 11:30, Marco.
Yep.
Bought this stuff. He wasn't there.
Pretty early.
I had class until 9, so I just went straight there because I'm like, fuck it, while I have a chance and I'm out. And then he had, later in the day, he was actually at the place where they were selling it, and he was offering a chance to take a picture with him and have him sign up to 2 things. Yeah. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. That's where the fan kind of came in. I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend the 20, whatever. Part of it goes to him, so that's why. Sadly, these 2 things, $100. I'm not big on spending that much money on clothes. Like, I'm not like that, especially when there isn't a check on it, Nike check. Yeah. But... It's worth it because he gets a portion of it. It's good Illini gear. It's something you're not going to be able to get anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. That's more than anything else. It's going to be good memorabilia, like looking forward.
So that's why for me, when I saw $20, more of it's going to go to him, and I get a chance to like actually ask him for an autograph without being like crossing my lines as a worker with him. Yeah. So the hoop that always hangs in our room is now signed
by Andre Corbello,
by El Mago himself, as well as a bucket hat that I'm probably going to end up giving to my dad. I like to give him signed shit. That's how that goes. Took a picture with him, so my Twitter is now that.
So if you do check out the Joseph Longo Twitter, that's by Joe, you are gonna see the Andre Corbello Joseph Longo picture, which is a pretty cool picture. I saw it when I was going through Twitter. I saw I don't even remember how I saw you picture by but I saw it and I was like, damn, that's what's up.
So the reason why this is podcast worthy, I don't just want to talk to you guys about my day. Mm-hmm. When I went back to go for that meet and greet,
let him know, yeah.
Obviously, I walk in. There's a little bit of people there. He kind of looks like he's had this, okay, I've been signing shit and saying, oh, thank you so much all day. He kind of already knows my face to a degree. At least I'd hope. I've seen him a bunch of times. Yeah. So it's like, when I saw him, he kind of just the thanks for supporting. Super nice guy, don't get me wrong. But that's when I kind of realized this thing that I've always realized. And it's something that me and you both dealt with. And it goes back to you seeing athletes at the bar. Is that these athletes, when they get to these schools, especially at this level, especially when you're playing on a team where Illinois basketball is at, you kind of get treated like this, like you're no longer actually just a normal kid, and you kind of get to this celebrity-esque range, where it's you constantly have people coming up to you and just straight fanboying, not to the point of me fanboying, willing to spend money to support the dude, but fanboying to the point where it's obsessing over them in person and wanting to talk to them and not leaving them alone and stuff. Me and you are former athletes and have been around athletes our entire lives. We get it. Yeah. The way I look at Trent Frazier, Io, even fucking Kofi Coburn, even anybody on the football team is those were the guys that I was just joking around with for 4 years in high school, but they managed to hit the next level. They did that. They're nothing. Them as people aren't crazy. So we have this.
Yeah. So more than anything, it's just the idea that obviously even though they have they're known people, right? They're popular figures, at least, especially here on the Illini campus. And so, but like you said, at the very end of the day, they're still people, right? And they don't just as how you would approach any other person. I'm not gonna go up there and be like, oh my god, I'm Jake. I'm gonna be like, yeah, what's up? What's good? Blah blah blah.
There's a difference between wanting to approach them, even though they're a stranger, and that. Yeah,
exactly. Even for example, at the bars when I've bumped into DeMonte Williams, for example, right? I'll just look at him and be like. Hey, what's up? Right.
What's good? Yeah, I've had a bunch of those.
Yeah, or even Trent Frazier. I've going to the football stadium while we were there. Remember I told that story about 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And but see, like I said, back to the kind of main point, right? That's kind of how you
should treat them.
How you should treat them, right? You don't want they've been going about their day. They have had practice, they have had classes. To an extent, you don't know what they're doing in their daily lives, right? But they want about their days. Last thing they don't want is just kind of be just bombarded and stressing about these kind of weirder people. I don't know exactly what you would want to put it.
It's just obsessive. They just don't know the difference between appreciating someone for how prominent of a person they are, and like just
cool.
being crazy. So like this gets me to my next point actually,
It's kind of cool.
where it's like that is what the culture is though. Like there's no getting around the fact. Like obviously we hope that everybody on this campus watches this video and changes the way they treat these like athletes at times. Because obviously I know some of them appreciate being treated like that. Like obviously you like to walk
and
on
I don't think
and hear,
I don't think any of them don't appreciate the like the popularity that they've gotten from.
But here's what I was going to get to is that like because so many of those people push those boundaries on them and like when you go out you want to just chill and then if you constantly have people like bombarding.
Yeah.
When someone like us who feels like we can actually be cool with these athletes and like we like obviously I work with them. You do a lot like you said you do the orange crusting now, so like we run into them a lot. Like we do a lot of what they do, and we both come from athletic backgrounds, so we know like athletes are very similar like a lot of the times in the way they act. So there comes this weird like it hurts to sometimes go up and introduce myself to these guys because I don't want to come off as a fanboy.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to do the more you interact with them. But it's also like for me, it's like the first thing I always say is like I work with the marketing team. Like you're gonna see me, so it's like I'm not gonna like trust me.
Yeah.
Like I said, the one time when I was at Cam's a couple years ago, I was lucky enough the basketball team was there. I went up to them after they got bombarded, and I was like, "Yo, I'm here just to chill." I'm like, "Y'all want to take a shot?" I'm like, "I work with the marketing team, but if y'all want to take a shot, I'm about it."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Fuck it." I'm like, "On me, let's go." Took a shot with
that's
the boys.
what that night is when I fist bump Kofi. Kofi was cool.
Yeah. That shit's lit. So it's like I always want to do those types of things because like I'm all about that. That's why I work what I work. Is I believe in this whole like athlete empowerment movement. I like this idea of like, in my opinion, a lot of athletes are like they're a great role model in terms of like you know what I'm saying. So it's like obviously they're the bad ones, but it's like I'm always about all my friends were athletes. I was an athlete growing up. I saw like even in high school, Ada. A lot of people didn't like Ada because he was the sophomore who made varsity. So like, oh, he's an asshole. He's all about himself, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't, though. People just automatically assume that because he was the young kid hanging out with older kids. Yeah. So I've seen so many of these people go through that. So it's like, I want to be boys with these guys. But I also don't want to push it too much to make them think like, oh, I'm like...
Yeah, like that
another
you're not
one
like
of those
a
creepy
fanboy.
chads from Acacia who are like just trying to be the cool frat kid with 20 pictures of the basketball team on his Insta.
Like, oh, I know everybody.
Yeah. So it's like that's something we were talking about earlier. I feel like it's a good topic to kind of let people know. It's like...
Man, it's a good little discussion. Like, you know, like... These are just people. Like they just happen to be fucking gifted.
Really are.
They just happen to be gifted at basketball or really whatever sport any popular athlete.
They're harder working than the people who want to be them were. They got the talent for it, and it's just like I'm all about appreciating it. It's like I wish everyone would kind of do that. So not only so that I have a better chance of being cool with them, but just so that they feel more willing to be like, you know what? I'm also a college kid. Let me go out and meet people.
Yeah,
they can't do that because
like they don't have to have like act a certain way or like move differently to like just go about their daily lives. You know. So yeah, that's.
And like I said, some of them take it in more than others. Some of them like that nonstop attention. They're soaking it in because it's their glory days.
Wait till the basketball season gets started.
It's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be an insane time in Champaign.
It's gonna be insane.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
Natty season. In Urbana.
Hammer it now. Illinois National Championship. I'm not allowed to bet on them, so go do it for me.
Well,